Hello students, today our mathematics chapter is coordinate geometry. All of you know the basics of coordinate geometry. Already you studied in your lower standards. What is a point, what is a line segment. These are the basic concepts already you learned in your lower standards. Let me recollect those. Coordinate, the meaning of the chapter is coordinate geometry. Coordinate is nothing but set of x and y values. Set of x and y values. So that means x value and y value should be there. So x value and y value separated by a comma, and x value and y value both are inserted in between two brackets. So this is nothing but the coordinate, and we can call it as a point. So here x comma y is a point, that is a coordinate. If you are observing that the first value should be x value, first value should be x, and second value should be y. This is the fixed pattern, you should remember. X and y, first value is x, second value is y. Coordinate is nothing but the set of x values. So x comma y are represented by in between the brackets, and it is called the point. In our lower standards already you learned about the point, the definition of a point. According to our point of view, point is a dot. So this is mathematically we can represent this. The basic definition is point is a basic element of geometry which has negligible dimensions. Dimensions are nothing but length and breadth. So simply point is negligible dimensions. In geometry, it is a basic element. Whatever the geometrical figure that you are going to draw, first you should note the point. You should need the point. Without point, you cannot draw the triangle, quadrilateral, or even the straight line also. So basic element of geometry is a point. So this point contain x and y values. First value is x, second value is y. So this first x value, I have written here once, observe you. X value is called abscissa. Second y value is called ordinate. This point can be named as any alphabet, any English alphabet like this. Point A, comma, A is x comma y. That means this is a point which named as A. This is the name. So next topic, how can we plot the point on the graph paper, on the Cartesian plane? Cartesian plane is nothing but the surface. So how can we plot that points? Before you are going to plot the points, first you need to understand that how can we divide the plane and how can we plot the point. Here all of you listen carefully. This is the plane, nothing but a surface. This is nothing but the surface. This contain, if you are observing that, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Q is nothing but a quadrant. This plane has separated into 4 quadrants: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Each and every quadrant contain some fixed values, plus, minus, minus, plus, minus. Let me explain how it is possible. Before that, how the quadrants formed, how can we divide the plane into 4 quadrants, I will explain now. Listen to me carefully. So imagine that this is a plane. This is a plane. Here, first you should take the horizontal line. This is the horizontal line. Horizontal. This is called the x-axis. This x-axis can be divided into 2 parts. That is, one is the positive x and next one is the negative x. So positive x and negative x. This is the horizontal line. Horizontal line is called x-axis. Remember that point. That divided into positive x-axis and negative x-axis. Next, vertical line. This is the vertical line. Vertical line is called y-axis. It also divided into positive y and negative y. So here the x-axis and y-axis are meeting at particular point. This is the point where x and y-axis meet. This is called the origin. So simply we can say that it is the point of intersection of x and y-axis is called origin. Okay, so after drawn the x and y-axis like this plane has separated into 4 quadrants. That is 1, 2, 4 parts, 3, 4 parts are there. Each and every part is called quadrant. What I explained previously. This is the quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So these are this is the way that we divided the quadrants. Then now, how these plus minus and minus plus minus is there. So here you should remember the points. When you plot the graph, when you are going to plot the point, and whenever you are drawing the graph, this is the fixed one, you should remember. First you should draw the horizontal line. This is the horizontal line, x-axis. So this positive x is nothing but, so from 0, where the origin is there, that is the starting point. Origin is nothing but the starting point. That means 0 to positive. 0 to positive in the sense plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, like this. This is the positive x. And this is the negative x. Positive x and negative x. So both are there like that. Once you should observe that point of intersection of x and y axis is nothing but the origin. At the same time, horizontal axis is called x-axis, vertical axis is called y-axis, and the plane has separated into 4 equal quadrants, that is q1, q2, q3, q4. And in the first quadrant, how the points are there, and second and third and fourth points, how the points are. So that now we are doing learning about that. In the first quadrant, check that, observe the first quadrant only. Horizontal axis, in the first axis, horizontal axis is plus, vertical axis is plus. The values of the horizontal axis, the values of the vertical axis, both are plus and plus. So first x-axis is plus, that is why we taken it as a plus, and next y-axis is also plus, that is why we taken it as a plus. So the value of the quadrant 1, the point is always plus comma plus. So this is the quadrant 1. Coming to the quadrant 2. So this is the quadrant 2. Remember that first value should taken as x value and next one is y value. So here x value is what? Negative values. Here negative values. So we taken x is a negative. So and y values are positive. So y value is positive. Then the point is minus comma plus, minus comma plus. This is the point in the second quadrant. Now coming to the third quadrant, if you are observing that, so both are negative, x is negative and y is also negative, so the point is minus comma minus. Next, fourth quadrant, if you taken the fourth quadrant, if you are observing that, so x value is positive and y value is negative, so the points we can take it as plus comma minus. So these are the quadrants that you remember, and where the points, suppose if you taken that minus 2 comma 4, where is this point, in which quadrant this point exists? If you observe that 2 contain minus, 4 contain, there is no sign, you should take it as a plus. So minus comma plus, in which quadrant it lies? Minus comma plus is the second quadrant. So these three quadrants is not possible to have that minus comma plus. So this is only the case. So minus 2 comma 4 should exist in the second quadrant. This is the way you should analyze where the point is, where the point in the particular plane. Okay, let me take another example. If you taken that minus 4 comma minus 8, minus 4 comma minus 8, that is minus 4 comma minus 8. So already explained about that minus 4, this must be a first value should be x value and second value should be y value. So x value is minus, where it is minus x value, this is the minus x value. Next, minus comma minus, y value is also minus, y value is minus in the sense here. So this quadrant, minus comma minus is there. In which quadrant it exists? Q3. So this point lies in the quadrant 3. This is the way that easily find out that where the point lies on the quadrant. Okay, so some conditions are there here. How the point is? Suppose a point is on the x-axis. A point is on the x-axis. Point is on the x-axis in the sense y value should be 0 on x, then y equal to 0. If any point lies on the x-axis, then the value of y must be equal to 0. The reverse manner, if the point is on the y-axis, then x value is 0, x equal to 0. That means a point lies on the y-axis. So any point lies on the x and y-axis, the opposite value should be 0. And suppose a point is like this here, 8, x equal to 8 here. A point lies on the x-axis like this. Where is that point? At value 8. So then first value should be 8. So for this point, what is the y value? There is no y value, so you should take it as a y. On the x-axis, y value is 0. So point is 8 comma 0. If you taken that, here it is 5. At 5 is there. So on the y-axis, that means y value is 5. Y value is 5. What is the x value on the y-axis? On the y-axis, x value is 0, 0 comma 5. So this is the way to plot the point on the graph sheet. So next one, how can we find out the distance between the 2 points? This is very important and the first formula. And how can we find out the distance, find out the length between 2 points? Length in the sense, if you want to measure any length at your home, Once if you are observing that, if you want to, now you are writing with the pen. What is the length of the pen? How can you find it out? Simply you can measure with the scale. So that is, scale is nothing. How can you take it? You should take the first point and you should take the second point, end point, the starting point and ending point. So this is the line I drawn. What is the length of the line? By using the scale, if you are measuring that, this is A and this is B. Starting point and ending. A is the starting point and B is the ending point. What is the length of AB? You can easily find out that. So by using the scale. But when points has given, how can we find out the length or distance of a particular point? So we are having the formula to find out the distance between the 2 points, where A x1 y1, x1 is nothing but the first point, x1 y1 is nothing but the first point, B x2 y2, A x1 y1, B x2 y2 are 2 points, and the distance between the 2 points is AB equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is a very important formula. You should make a note of it. That means where we are using the formula to find out the distance between the 2 points. Next one is midpoint of AB. So if you taken these 2 points again, what is the midpoint of AB? Middle point. Middle point. How can we find out the middle point of a particular line? You can do it in the half. Suppose 7 centimeter is the length of the line. What is the midpoint? 3.5. So you can easily saying that it is, if you are measuring it by the scale, you can easily observe that this is the midpoint. But here in this case, when points has given the midpoint of AB, if you want to find out the midpoint of any 2 points, you should use this formula, that is x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. x1 plus x2 by 2, this is the x point, and y1 plus y2 by 2, this is the y point. Generally, the students are doing the mistakes in these categories while you are doing the distance between the 2 points. So it must be a numerical value. It must be a numerical value. When you find out the distance in between any 2 points, it must be a numerical value, 2, 3, 4, root 5, root 6. Roots also you are getting. But when you are doing the midpoint of AB, the resultant should be a point. Remember that point. Resultant should be a point. But in this case, numerical values are there. 2, 4, minus. It should not be minus. Minus should not be there. Root 6, root 9, like that. Root 9 is nothing but 3. So root 19, like that. So midpoint of AB. Midpoint of AB in the sense, answer should be like this. 2 comma 3. Point 1 comma 4 minus 5 comma 6. The answer should be like that. So you should find out the difference. Point should be represented in the brackets. That is why I kept it back here. So answer should get it in between the points. But in the case of distance, answer should be in the numerical values. So dear students, listen to the video again and write down the running notes. In the next class, I will explain the sums which is related to the distance between the 2 points and the midpoint of AB. So thank you students. Listen to the video, and if you are having any doubts, contact me.